Good morning. I think we are live. I am looking for the live on Facebook here. There it is. Get everything ready. I'm a couple minutes late today. I apologize, guys. I had some things that I had to get prepared, and I ran over time. Good morning, Christine, Gail, Christiana, Michelle, Diana, Mary Lou, Anita. Good morning. Good morning. So now I have everything set up. Let's go ahead. We're going to do Friday Fun Day. We're going to learn about uploads and combining projects. And we are going to make this mini shoebox that I found in the Cricut community. However, it needs a little work in the file, in my opinion. It's a great file. Nothing wrong with it. It's just not the way that I do my files. So I'm going to make it my own. And I want to show you guys how you can do that as well. So let's play the intro and we're going to get started. And we are live today, and you guys are going to get the weekend to, good morning, Marianne. You guys are going to get the weekend to work on your box that we're making today. And I want to see you guys do a Valentine theme out of it. But if you want to do just the regular shoebox, I'm going to show you how to do that too. But I would love to see some Valentines from this. Let's see. As far as I know, that's still the current sale. I forgot to change it again. I forgot to go look. I ran out of time this morning. But the links are down below. Please shop those links. That earns me a small commission, and I greatly appreciate your support. Good morning, Swirly. You're in your car, but you're not driving. Okay, no driving and doing YouTube at the same time. Make sure that you guys are signing up for mystery box notifications. You can find that those QR codes. You can scan them there on the playbacks, or you can go to the website craftingwithapril.co and sign up for those. Also, speaking of that, I have a new feature on the website I would like to show you guys. Let me pop over to Designspace and slide this over so that you're on that screen. If you come over to craftingwithapril.co, let me stretch this out just a little bit. I have to make it small. You will see on Facebook, or if you're on mobile, you will use the hamburger menu, of course, and then you will see on Facebook. At a glance, you can see the projects that I posted. Now, it can take anywhere from 15 or 20 minutes or 3 hours to appear. I tested it. It showed up in a few minutes, but if you don't see anything new, you can always hit the refresh button at the top of your screen there in the URL field, and it should refresh and bring in. But it's going to show you what's new so that you can see the YouTubes that we're doing, things like that. It's going to bring all of those in for you. And I know those question marks are there. I just fixed that. Hopefully it took. It's not supposed to have those in there. Oops, maybe I lost it. But anyway, I'm working on it. It's coming in. There it is. I just finished working on it and got it to live. So you can follow on the YouTube channel at Crafting with April, or you can come over here and you can see what's on the Facebook page. This will not show you what members are doing. It will show you what I'm doing. So if you're wondering if I have posted in a while or you don't see my post, because the reach is kind of messed up for admins on the YouTube groups, the Facebook groups, and Facebook is aware. They're working on it. They've been working on it for over a year. So if you're saying I'm not seeing anything from me, I've had several reports of that. You can come right here and see everything that I post. It will be here. It may take it a few minutes to show up, but everything that I post will show up here for you, and you don't have to scroll through all the group stuff to find it. So I hope that you guys are going to like that feature. Just let me know. Give me your feedback. Things like that. And you may see a couple of repeats in there. It's only going to show you the last 20 things I did, but you're going to be able to see things a lot easier that I do. All right, so today we are going to be talking about we're going to be creating something from the community, but we're going to be talking about, these files come from people like you and I and everybody else, and everybody has their own design style. We're not knocking anybody's design style at all. That's not what this is about. This is going to be about teaching you uploads, and then when you get one of those projects, before you cut all of your good materials, that you check a project, because the person who did that may be learning. I've got files now to this day, some of my earlier files, where DesignSpace was different and we couldn't do things. As a matter of fact, I posted mine in the group. Which one did I release? Let's see. This one right here. I released it yesterday. Before I could release this file right here for you guys, I had to fix it because it was not compatible for machines. And the reason why is because when I created that file, we did not have an open-ended circle. So what we did is we would use a C, the letter C in text, and change it to writing. We would pick a writing font and change that letter C to a cut line. And you can no longer do that with a writing font. It won't let you. It's incompatible. You will get one of the red information eyes. So I had to go in and correct this before I could release it so that it would work for you guys. So this is mine. I'm going to click on Customize here. So I had to go in and doctor this file, and I will show you once it opens. And I changed all of the text that I had in there explaining that the window lid was optional. Right here that this was optional. I changed that to guide because that was welded text because we didn't have guides back then. Then it would all go to the mat. You had to hide all that stuff before it could go to the mat. So if you open up an older file that somebody designed, it may not be that they couldn't or didn't know, or it could be just an older file and tools were not available, and things that we didn't have. We couldn't use them. So I have changed these little tabs right here to the open-ended circles. Right here you can see open-ended circle in the layers panel. It used to be we came in and what we would do is change that to writing, and then we would select the letter C, and then we would open that up, unlock it, and squish it to like we wanted it, the size that we wanted. Oops. There we go. And we would get that to the size we wanted, and then we would change it to a basic cut. Now when you do that, it goes to print and cut. Okay? So when you attach that print and cut to this size, this is 8.5 by 8 or 6938, and it would work, but it would want to print it. That's the whole problem. It would want to print it. And if your image was bigger than the print and cut, then you couldn't do it. So that creates, if I were to, let's see, attach that. And then try to save it, I believe. It may not do it now, but last night it was giving me an error message, but it will come up over here. It just doesn't work anymore, okay? So make sure that you're checking those files that you get out of the community to fix those, okay? So I'm going to show you guys how to combine and how you can fix a file. Because this is mine, and her box is just a little bit different. Hers is a one piece where mine is a two-piece box. This one is a little bit bigger. I also want to show you, I'm going to be taking and dragging this over so that I don't have to set all of that up and go find those images again. I want to combine it into her project. Okay? So how do you tell what size a box is going to be when you open it up? Okay? So what I do is I go in and I get a shape, because just looking at it on the canvas, you can't really tell how big that box is going to be. So I get a square, I unlock it, and then I stretch it in between, because every box has to have a bottom or a top, right? And it has to have a side. So this tells me that this box is approximately 5 3/4 inches, 5.75 by 3.875. So that's a pretty good sized box, okay? And its depth is going to be between these two score lines, or these two score lines. So if you want to know how deep it's going to be, we know it's going to be 3.875 wide, but how deep will it be? And this is approximately 2.5 inches deep, okay? So that's how you can tell the size your box is going to end up. Super easy. So now we're going to combine images, and I'm doing this prior to uploads because we're going to upload into that file, and I want you guys to get her file. So if you want this piece, you don't have to have it. You can get it later. I'm just going to right click and copy it, and then we're going to go home. I'm actually going to go to my stuff because I saved this, and you can look it up on how, oops, maybe I'm not. I bookmarked it. Let's see. I want to open it right here. Mini. All right, I'm going to need Louise for this because it's in French, and I don't know French. I probably will just get us into a bunch of trouble here. But anyway, this is the box. And if you look in the, I'm going to, I just copied. I can go back to that. Let's just type that. Mini Boit. I guess that's how you say it. Let's go to the community. And I don't want to be in my stuff. I want to go to the community. Let's go to the community ribbon. Let's view all or see more. They changed that from view all to see more. Okay. Let's see. There it is. So if you type in that mini, what is that word? Small box, sporty, Jordan style. Thank you, Louise. That's what it says. Now I know French. Does the translate? It probably does. I just didn't pull it up. So, thanks, Louise. It helps to have Louise here. But anyway, we're going to edit a copy. And we're going to take a look at this file. I'm going to replace my file that was on the canvas. And I am going to right click and paste my label before I do anything else where I copied it out of mine. I say I am. And in this instance, when it doesn't work as intended, you won't see it on this screen, guys, but up at the top of your window right here where you see this green above mine, you will see Cricut Designspace. Hit the translate button, right? You can come up here to the top. Yeah, there's a translate right there. There it is. It did show up. So there, this project was machine translated and may not be completely accurate, but it is. Louise said it. That's what it said. So there's your translate button, guys. I missed it. I don't generally need those, so there was a delay on your computer. Evidently mine too. Marianne reminded us there is a translate, and then you can go back to original text. That's fairly new too, guys. So it's fairly new on those. So where was I? Okay. Anyway, up at the top, and you're not going to see it here because I'm using two computer screens, but on my main computer screen, it's there. You'll see your Windows logo or your Apple logo, and then it will say Cricut Designspace, File, Edit, View, and Help. And I'm just going to pop up and bring those up so that you can see it. I've done some screenshots. But if you bring that up, there's where it's at. You'll see under File is a new window. If you open that while it's on Designspace, it will open up a new window. And just to show you, I have both windows. It's opening that second one back there somewhere. There it is. Let me move that out of the way. You can come back over to this window. I'm going to go in there and find my project so that I have two windows open. And this is the way that you can cut in two windows as well. So if you have two machines, you have an Explorer and a Maker, or a Joy and a Maker, whatever your machine combo is, you can go in there and use two windows and cut two machines at a time by opening two windows. So I'm going to let that load. I'm going to grab that label again. Right, Cheryl? It's fairly new. I don't see it often because it's not very often that I have something that is not in English on there. It just happened to be that this box I picked was not. So I'm just going to cut that by Xing it out, and it left that line in there. Let me take care of that. I'm going to paste that back and save it. I didn't mean to save that in there, that drawn C. Okay, so now I'm just going to minimize that window. I'm going to come over to this window and paste. And there it is. So super easy to combine part of one project into another project. Yay! Welcome, Anne. So now we have that in there. While I'm on the topic of where you get that new window, and I did show you that, you also have Edit, View, and Help. And under the Edit menu, I'm not going to bring these up. You can do that on your own. Under the Edit menu, you've got, again, your Cut, Copy, Paste, Select All, and then any other features that might be in for your computer. And then on the View tab, you will have Reload and Force Reload and your full toggle so that it toggles to full screen. And I just accidentally did that. Don't want to do that. There, you can see right there. It should show it to you there. And I'm going to get out of that full screen so that I can get my screen back because I could only see Designspace. I lost everything else there. So you have that in there. And then on the help menu, maybe I will go full screen to show you guys that one. If you go into the help menu, you can contact member care from here. You can also go to help, and you can also go to the Cricut's YouTube channel. So hopefully, let me get out of there again. Those menus will help you out. That force reload, if you ever freeze or something like that, guys, go. If you freeze when you're doing your projects, and you've done all that work and you're afraid you're going to lose it, don't do anything until you open a new window. Okay? Open up a new window. Go to File, New Window. Select all in your canvas. Cut it or whatever. Open up a new window. Don't close this one that won't save. Open up a new window and paste it in there and try to save that one. Because sometimes a window can become corrupt and not work for us, okay? Or it just freezes solid. And if that doesn't work, then your only choice is to do a force reload. And sometimes you can get your project back, sometimes not. So that also comes in handy for combining projects, and it comes in handy for when we forget to hit that save button and we don't have our project stuff done. So I'm going to hit a save as now that I've got everything in there. And I'm not going to put this in a collection because I've already saved it and have it. I'm just going to save this as a copy, and then I can get rid of it because I already have it. You don't cut it, you copy and paste it. Either way, sometimes my copy and paste doesn't take, so I cut it and then paste it back in there, and then I open up the new window and paste it in there as well. And sometimes it allows me to save, and sometimes it won't, but it's rare now. It used to be very frequent, but it's very rare that that happens anymore. But it's just a little tidbit just in case. Hi, Beverly. Welcome, welcome. So I was looking at this box, and if you look in this layers panel, I wanted to bring up my other Designspace window. Show all windows. Did I minimize? I thought I had it minimized. Let's see. Maybe I did quit it. So let me just open a new one again. I'm going to make this one smaller so you can see them. I'm trying to refer back to those so that you guys can see, because this is touching on the layers panel and then our uploads as well. Where is my project? There it is. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to close that, guys. So the difference when you're looking at a file in that layers panel, you can see all of these groups. Everything is all one single layer, and that's great for redesigning. And you can see that I have this is all of this label here. And the reason that's like that is so that you can redo it. But if I click on this box, you can see I have my lines. Those are all score lines. You have to have those. But my box itself, my slice result, because I reworked another box to make this, is all one layer. And let's take a look at the other one. I don't think I'm going to need that again. When you look at this group on her, let me get rid of that. When you look at this box, she has all her score lines, but then if you look, she has united everything on the box. So we have all of these layers down here are the box itself, okay? And that's fine and good, and it's actually a great thing because I cut this one for a test cut, and I folded it. And I'm just going to pop overhead real quick and show you guys. No, I'm not. We lost the camera. Let me go to the other one. I apologize. I'm going to have to take that camera back, it appears. It's not even warm. Just isn't coming on. So I cut this box and folded it. So you guys are going to be able to see how this folds and goes together. But in the folding, everything is a valley fold or a mountain fold, depending on which way you're looking at it. You're going to fold in these two tabs. You're going to glue those two, and this is going to fold over and glue right here. Okay? That's going to create your lid. These are going to fold up, okay? And this tab is going to fold into here. This is just folding into here to give it a nice edge on it when it's finished, which is very nice. And then these two tabs come in, and this tab folds over those two to create a nice edge there. However, mine didn't want to fold over there because it was too tall. The tabs were too tall. I ended up having to trim off the top edge on both of these and cut off those little corners and these top edges. And I had to cut off this top edge. You can see this is the original shape. I had to cut that off so that it didn't show through those cut holes right there. Because when I folded it in, they stuck out right here. Okay, so I did a test cut to make sure, and to make sure that everything was going to be cohesive before I did it. And I'm glad that I did, because it does need a little bit of tweaking. So let's pop back over. So right here on this box, and because she didn't do it, I can detach those score lines. And now what I want to do in there is on these score lines, I'm going to just select all of them because they weren't attached, and so I have to go in and grab them all. And I am going to attach those score lines. Now I've got a group of them that I can move out of the way. Okay, I can just move them off to the side and work on this. Oops, did it not change again? My camera went out. I'm going to move that out of the way just so I don't click on it accidentally again. Can you guys see now? I had the Designspace and camera together. So all I did was come over, I detached this score lines from her box, and then I selected them all in the layers panel, and then I attached the score lines so I could move them independently without disturbing them and having to realign it. But because she didn't weld, I can undo her unite. And you can see there's nothing wrong with that tab there. I'm just going to continue. I'm going to undo. Okay, I have to undo her subtract now, which is the holes, the circles. And then I'm going to, I have to click off of it. Click on it, undo the subtract again, undo the unite again. There's nothing wrong with those tabs. I'm going to undo that unite. Not really anything wrong with that there. There's the problem. That one is a problem. Let's see. And I'm going to undo that unite. That one is a problem. And let's see if I can. Nope. The rest of this was welded. Okay, so I can't correct these with that. All I can do right here is scoot this in slightly, and that will stop it from showing in the circle. So I'm going to move the other. I'm just using my arrow keys and slightly moving those in. Okay, I just bump them to the inside just a little bit. I can't do that with these. These I'm going to have to slice off. I'm not going to do that to this box. while we're doing this today, I'm just going to show you guys how to do it, or you can trim it off after you cut it. That's totally up to you. It wasn't that much to cut off. It was fairly simple to do, and I left one undone so I could show you how I did it. But anyway, if you want to correct those, you can correct it there. And then this one, you have to correct it on this side right here. So it's this side here, which I can bump them up a little bit further. I'm using the up arrow to move those up. And that should still cut well, and because they're not even, but that's okay. You can select the two and align to the top, and that will even those out. And then that should be good on those. You can select both of them and group it, and then select the box and align it center horizontally, and that's going to even those two up. Those are the only two that you can correct that way. So we can come back in here and we can combine and unite this. And oops, I lost the circles. You want to subtract those. So you want to hold those. You don't want to select those when you unite everything back. You want to save those off to the side so you can subtract those back out. Up here, and don't unite if you're going to be correcting the box. Don't unite until after you slice this, because if you unite that and then slice, it's going to be one solid image. Okay? So you can come in here and get a square and just shrink it down, unlock it, and shrink it down. And I think it was like a 0.0625, a 1/16 of an inch that I cut off of it. So that's the only height I want on there. Actually, it doesn't matter how tall that is. I want this to be 0.0625. So I've got about an inch there, and you can bring it in. You can zoom in on your canvas and make sure that you've got it in the right place, and just bring it right down to the top of that and duplicate it. And I just use Command C, Command V to duplicate that, and bring it in also into the same spot. Align those to the top, okay? And then you can combine those. You can weld them or combine them, whatever. And then align those. Oops, don't move the box. Once you have them in place, and I know these are not in the exact place, but you can align, center it horizontally, and then you can slice that off to correct the box and get that piece off of there. And then it should not have any problem with this flap closing over it. And then you can just trim off that little piece right there, and it won't show through the box lid. Okay? So it does need a little bit of work, but you can do it. And then once you've got it all united, leave the holes so that you can subtract those back out or slice them out, weld them and slice them out. And then you'll bring your score lines back over and then line those up and attach them back to the box. Then it will be working for you. Now you can come in here, you've got your label, you can ungroup it, and then you can shrink that down to fit this box. Bring it to the front. After you've got all your information on there, and you can use your rotate to make it easier, April. Rotate it in, and then size it up to fit without interfering with the hole. And so now you've got a label. Once you have your label adjusted and you've got all of the information, the child's name, things like that on there, then you're going to flatten that for print and cut. And you can do it on vinyl or sticker paper, and it's just going to stick to the end of the box. Super easy, okay? So if you want, and you saw that I had just a check mark, I'm going to undo that so that I can bring that back to a viewing stance here where we can actually see it. I've got just a check mark on there to indicate, because we all know this is like a top name brand Nike shoe. I'm going to ungroup that. I don't want this in my way. So you can go in there. This is happy birthday is this barcode, I believe, was in Designspace. I may have created it, but I think it was in Designspace, and I just welded it or something, welded happy birthday onto it. But you can change this up to be however you want it to be. Put in your date. You can put in the phone number. People used to use these for little small invitations. They handed out to their coworkers and friends for their child. Had maybe a little party favor or some candy in it. And this was the actual invitation on the end of the box. But if you really want this to look like the Nike logo, and I'm going to go to my stuff and get the one that I've already done. And we don't really need the label. I did a label, and I made notes in mine to trim it. I just haven't done it yet where it needed to be trimmed, so that you can see. And if you guys want this file, you can have it. I have not done anything to it except make it orange, and I think I merged the layers. I did. I merged all of those layers so it cleaned up the file. And then I was just going to slice mine off. But anyway, uploads right here, okay? And what you're going to do is click on your upload, and then you're going to upload your image, and it's going to appear right here in this upload field, and then you're going to click on it and add it. So I'm going to go over and open up a page, and we're going to search Nike logo. All right? And you can pick any one you want. This is like for the top of the box, and then you might want this one here for the side, or you might even want this one here. It's totally up to you which one you select. Just remember, if you have a white center, you have to work with it a little bit differently. So I'm just gonna grab that, and I am going to download that image. And close that. I'm also going to grab one that I don't have to do that with. That's a great PNG, so I'm going to download that and close that. Oops, I didn't want... I just lost my YouTube. I accidentally closed my window. I do still have you guys here on... I can't believe I did that. I still have you on my streaming software, but I don't have you on YouTube. I can't see my chat. It's going to take a minute for me to see chat, so guys, bear with me. I accidentally did that. Yeah, make sure you're choosing a free image, okay? So once you've got that, you're going to come into your downloads. I can no longer see you guys. I closed my window by mistake. It just shows me that you're live. I closed my streaming, but it should stay live. It should stream even though I can't see it. We're going to come into the downloads, and you're going to bring that Nike logo in. Okay, I'm going to just shrink this. So I'm going to upload image. Let's see if I can get two screens going here for you guys. I'm going to get that Nike logo and drag it in. This is a simple image. If you have an SVG, it is not going to ask you to clean it up like this. If you see this, it is a PNG or a JPEG. It will not ask you this for a layered SVG, okay? Photographs are one flat layer, and you have to clean them up, and we'll go into more of that when we do patterns and print and cut. But just so you know, make sure that if you've got an SVG, even though it says SVG, if you see this, it is not. Because sometimes they will get this and then they will change the PNG extension to an SVG, making you think it's an SVG when it is not. I hope that makes sense. So if you see this, you know you do not have an SVG. Always choose complex. And then there's not really anything to clean up here. This is a little bit pixelated, but I'm going to be using it for print and cut, so I think it'll be okay. And I'm going to apply and continue. And you can see that cut, it's very pixelated. If you see all of those little rough edges, that's what we mean by pixelation, okay? And I'm just going to leave that as Nike logo. I'm going to select as a print and cut and upload it because I know that's not going to cut well, okay? I know by looking at that it's not going to cut well. And then you can add it to your canvas. Ooh, it's super large. Maybe it's going to be better than I thought. So let me extend that. And we're going to make this probably about 3 inches. Oops. I don't know why Designspace is doing that now. When it brings in an image, it's unlocked. Let's try that again now that it's locked. That's weird. And that looks like it will fit right. This is the box top right here. I have that check mark in there. So you can bring that in. And remember, when you upload, your file is no longer shareable if you save it. I'm not going to save this, but I want to change that to white. Let's do a color, make it white. And now I've got the Nike logo for the top of that box. Now I want to go back and upload again and get the logo. I'm going to upload the image. And I'm going to see if that's the one. That's the black and white one. So let's take a look at it. That's complex. And if I clean up that background, that cleans up pretty good, leaving me just the white check mark. Sometimes they don't clean up very well and they don't look very good. But that one looks like it cleaned up fairly well. And then you can just use it like that. Used to, if you had a white center, that when you cleaned it up, this got all wonky and it didn't look good. But the upload tool has gotten very, very sophisticated. They have worked with it and made it look better. And I'm just going to, again, save that as a print and cut. And the reason I'm saving it as print and cut is because I can always go back and change it to a cut image. And if you save it as a print and cut, as a cut image, you can flatten it. But it's just easier if I bring it in as a print and cut. That way I don't even have to go to the operation type and do that. So now I might want to change that to black. Let's go to a color and make that black for my label. Because on the label that I accidentally got rid of, you want to make sure that it shows up. And if your label is white, then it's not. So now you have both logos, and you're just going to flatten that onto your label with your barcode and your other information. And it's really tiny on the box, so it would go up here somewhere. So it's very super easy and simple to get your logos. You're just going to get those. This box is 8.074 by 9.919. So you're not going to be able to flatten that to the box and print and cut it, okay? What you would have to do in this instance is select it, put it on there. Let's detach our score lines. And you would have to make the box smaller. That's totally up to you. I'm going to just grab everything. And my largest is going to be 9.25. So that's going to take the box down, and it's 7.5. It's still outside of the print and cut because 6.75 is our max. So I'm going to have to come in here. Oops. Just select the box itself. 9.25. I've got to take it probably down to, let's just go to this side and do 6.75. I didn't select everything because I didn't want to get all of those in there. And then just size that down. Now it's in the print and cut parameters. So you could actually print and cut it orange, Nike orange. If you have your hex code for Nike orange, you can make that box its exact color. So let's look that up. And let's go to there is the hex code for the Nike orange. So I'm going to copy that. And I'm going to come over to this box. And we're going to select our color block, go to Advanced, paste that in. And it looks kind of funky on the screen, but that's what they're saying the Nike orange color is. So now you have the box just like you need it. You're going to detach those score lines. And you can even attach at this point your label instead of doing it separate on copy paper or on sticker paper or vinyl. You can add your label now, select that, your labels, the box, flatten it, send it to the back, and attach your score lines. And now you can print and cut that box and make it. And all in one complete fatal swoop. Super easy and simple. And again, you can just cut it out of the vinyl and stick it on the top if you prefer to do that as well. It just depends on if you want the smaller box. Now, making it print and cut size, now we need to know what size that box is going to be, because maybe print and cut's not the way to go. Oops. Get a square. That's the rounded square, but it doesn't really matter. I just want to know. So now this box is at a print and cut size. This is how you make your miniatures too, guys, for like ornaments. You get your box and just size it down. This is, it's going to be about 3 1/4 inches wide, 1 1/8, just 1.75, 1 3/4 inch, just over that in the width of it. And then its depth, how deep it's going to be, is going to be about I got my size screwed up doing that size. Here we go. My width and height. Okay, my height is going to be just over 1 1/4 inches. So, or right at 1.3. So that's how tall it's going to be. And I believe that a Ferrero Rochers will fit in that box at that size. So that'll give you an idea. Yeah, it's the same thing. So if you wanted to make this a mini box or a mini Amazon box, you're just going to change your colors and put your stuff on there. You can size them down. You can make them whatever size you want. You can size up to. You just can't do print and cut because, see, you're going to get that red information eye, not supported. You have to reduce the image to 6.75 by 925 if you flattened it for print and cut. You could always do a small one on print and cut and then match up your cardstock to that so that you know you have the right Nike color, and then just do the white vinyl for the logo. You'll simply detach. We're going to unflatten that, or you can just actually just go to your uploads and bring that back in. It's going to come in super large again. You can size this down to whatever size that you need. I don't know why it comes in unlocked, and I always forget to undo that. Get back here. Difficulties. There we go. Lock it. I don't know why they come in unlocked all of a sudden. So let's say I made that 3 inches and I saved that as a print and cut when I uploaded it. I'm just going to come over here and change it to a basic cut and then change that to white, and now I can cut that from vinyl and then stick it on the box. Okay, so it's super easy. Just upload your images and bring them in. You can make this any size from print and cut size up to 11. And I don't know what size the 11.5. But just remember to tweak that file. You're going to have to cut it off right here on this edge, right here, and this little tip on both of these. And then on this one, this edge and this little tip, so it doesn't show through the window, and that flap will close over it. And I'm going to pop overhead and show you that real quick because we're going to have to wrap up. I have something that I have to do. And so I want you guys to make this box and make it maybe in the shoebox themes. You can do any of them, Reeboks, whatever you want to do. You can do the Air Jordan logos on the top of the box. You can find those just by searching on Google and upload them. If your upload doesn't look good, trash it, throw it in the garbage, and find one that will look good or cut well. Always do a test cut when you've done your uploads because not all uploads will cut properly. If your machine sounds like a sewing machine when it's cutting it, it's because it's extremely pixelated and there's too many nodes and you need a better image with a higher resolution. Okay? And we're going to get more into the uploads of with pattern fills and all of that when we do print and cut this coming week. So we will get more into that. I just wanted to show you how to upload other images that you could use in your files. So now I did show you guys everything, right? Let's see. I showed you project combining. I showed you how to get the size of the box. And I showed you how to upload the Nike logo. So let me go to over here. And we're just going to put this together. I'm going to use a tape runner just for time purposes. I have maybe 5 minutes here. So these two tabs, I don't want to drop my phone. Hi Trish and Wendy and Susan and Chandra over on Facebook watching us. So you're going to glue those two tabs, keeping that box square. I'm trying to stay in camera for you guys. Right into that lid. Okay. And then we're going to glue this down to give it a nice finished edge on the box. They didn't do a finished edge on these tabs, so you could add that if you wanted to. And then we're going to glue these tabs. Now, I didn't cut one of these so I could show you guys. This one, I didn't cut. And it will bend that cardstock over. It's just not in the right spot, and it will not come in together correctly. Or mine didn't for whatever reason. So I just went in and just snipped off like a 1/4 inch, a 1/16 of an inch. Just snipped it off right there. And then this corner right here, just snipped it off. It doesn't matter. It's not going to show. And snip that off so it didn't show through that hole. And you have to do it on both sides. So once you've done that, we're going to put our glue on these 4 tabs. And then those glue up to the inside right here. And I wished I had really had time to just totally rework a new file and make you guys a new file. But I wanted to, because it's Fun Friday, I want to pick things from the community that we can change and make our own. And so we're going to bring this flap in to give that a finished edge. And then you want to glue these flaps. I got glue on my... These flaps are going to fold in to give that a finished edge. And then you have that little thumb hole. And then this edge goes in. So, and you can see that that's not fitting in there either. So it's off just a little bit. I'm just going to trim it. I'm not going to waste the box. I'm just going to trim it down just ever so slightly so that it folds in and doesn't push out on the box there. This one is doing the same. Let me show you. I'm sorry if you couldn't see what I snipped. I can undo it. It's right here. That's not working well. I'm having to stretch over about 2 feet to get to this camera, guys. I just snipped right here. Just snipped off about a 1/16 of an inch, and then I snipped right here, just so that it doesn't show through that thumb hole. And then these are not laying in there correctly either. You can see how it's trying to fold up my cardstock. So you may have to trim those pieces as well. Over the weekend, I am going to try and that way it fits a little bit better. So if you're running into that issue, just trim it up, and I will rework the file and get it to where it's fitting better for you guys. But that is basically how that box goes together. If I can get it. I might even add a finished edge on this edge because all the edges are finished nicely except the one. So I may go in and rework this file for you guys, and I will put it public in Designspace. Yeah, that's not fitting well. Guys, don't cut this. Let me fix it. It's too wide right here for this. See how that's bowed out? It's not a proper fit. I'll fix it. I'll get it fixed. It's just not a proper fit. This is my test cut that I did, and there we go. I went, there we go, there. It's just not a proper fit. This is the test cut, but I wanted to show you guys how that file looked, and we'll get it fixed up, and I will post it for you. I will do it this evening. That way you guys can work with it over the weekend. Okay? I will fix all the boo-boos on it. I don't know if I like the hole in the lid there. All right. Anything else, guys? Yeah, I think I'm going to... Do you guys want that hole in the lid or just here? I don't think I want it in the lid. Do you? I'll give both options. I'll give one with the hole and one without. How about that? We'll rework the file. We'll do it. I'll make a new file, and I'll leave both options. One with the 2 holes in the lid and one without the holes in the lid. Because it's a really cute box. Yeah, I don't know what they're for either and why they're in there, because when I get a shoebox, I don't have those holes on the lid. I don't think. Yeah, and that's the thing. That's what part of this was about, Diana, is because my file had to be fixed. There's always times that it, yeah, that's what I'm thinking on the side. Prickly pear. I'm thinking on the side. I mean, I like this here. This is fine, but I just don't think it needs those there. I will give both options. Options are good, so that way you have both. They do have them, Marianne? Okay, so they do have them in the lid. I'll give both options. That way you can use it for whatever. Maybe that's what it's for, just for easy opening. Yeah, my regular shoes don't have them, but I don't know. Maybe it's just athletic thing. All right, guys. Thank you for joining me. I'll rework this box. I'll post it up in the group and in the community. I'll release it in the community, and you guys can cut it. Only on athletic. Okay, that's right. All right, guys. I will catch you on the next video on Tuesday. Y'all have a great day. Thanks for joining me.